Welcome to the Magic City Spotlight, B-Ham highlights. Everything is looking up like a skylight. It's all love, here's your invite. You ought to know we keep it cool, no frostbite.
Now come and follow me as we take flight. To intellect, precision, vision, homegrown insights. Feeling the beat of the pulse, cherishing every precious life. Working effectively, holding the reins, keeping it tight. For me,
we the culture of the city. Vulcan lit up the night sky for the birth of shuttles. Working for soldiers, shoulder to fight. Now we're restoring the feeling. Our presence is an honor. Red light, don't die. That is my Birmingham.
Shining in the spotlight where you can hear the city speak. This is where the city meets. From politics to industry, from futuristic history, consistently repping the beat. Ham, home of the red light D. I'm tuned in, you need to get like me. Spotlight D, Ham highlights. Everything is looking up like a skylight. It's all love, here's your invite. You ought to know we keep it cool, no frostbite. Welcome to the time for Kevin, Black Boy Edward. Ham highlights. Shout out Rudy. Everything is looking up like a skylight. It's all love, here's your invite. You ought to know we keep it cool, red light D. Team of 10, from the beginning to the end.
V94.9 WATV, with V stands for variety, on the home of the Dee Dee in the Morning Show. Welcome, Birmingham. Again, we made it to Saturday morning. And, of course, you are inside of the Magic City Spotlight, starring Mayor Randall Woodfin and friends. Good morning, Mayor. Oh, glad to see you as well, sir. As we know, each March, the city of Birmingham publishes daily StrongHer profiles featuring under-recognized women who are leading our community. So we get to join the mayor today and friends as we celebrate 5 years of StrongHer and share stories of the women who inspire us. And our guests for the day are Shanda Temple, the Senior Project Manager of the City of Birmingham, the Mayor's Office, Jacqueline McKinney, StrongHer honoree, and also Allison Sanders, a StrongHer honoree as well. Ladies, so glad to have you here this morning. Mayor, how's everything going?
This impact work of spotlighting and highlighting on every single day during the month of March, Women's History Month, unsung heroes that are literally making impact in the community every day. So this is a very exciting time, exciting month. I don't even know who's gonna go every day, but I'm excited to. I'm excited to read and learn and about another hero in Birmingham.
Definitely the month of March is for women, and we love celebrating all of you. But before we really get into the meat of the conversation, we like to have a little bit of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And I love the fact that there has been a lot of buzz on social media. I don't know how y'all feel about Michael B. Jordan, not actual Michael Jordan, but Michael B. Jordan. Actually, his directorial debut at Creed 3 has come out. We've been seeing a lot of pictures between him and I think Jonathan Mayer that have been that have been kind of interesting and controversial out there. But I love the fact that this is his directorial debut. And if any of us have seen Creed before, have you seen it, Mayer?
I had two friends that see it last night, so I've seen Creed 1 and 2, and 3 came the third. I guess in the compilation came out last night. So I'm definitely going to go see it. I'm a fan of both actors. I'll say this. If anybody's a fan of Rocky, I just like how they continued the storyline, right? So we've gone from the 70s to the 80s, Rocky 4 and Rocky 5 in the 90s.
Apollo, right?
I mean, Rocky 5 in the 90s. And now you come up with Creed, this whole notion of Apollo Creed has a son, and the story continues.
No.
1 and 2 are really good, by the way. Particularly 1, but it seems to be a significant amount of hype around 3 more so than I felt for 1 and 2 combined.
Okay.
And it may be because it's Michael B. Jordan's director debut as well as he's, of course, on the screen acting. But his sidekick in this movie, I'm calling him sidekick, but he holds it down on his own. He's had a string of great movies lately. Right. I first saw him in The Harder They Fall. And he's just been on ever since. Ant-Man, everything. It's
right.
Pretty cool.
I mean, John Majors has been really major in that. Shandy, have you seen the Creed?
I've only seen Creed 1.
Okay.
But I am looking forward to it.
No.
The promotions have been amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just really proud for what we're seeing for them, for all the actors.
Say, I got to get in the gym.
Like
Yeah.
automatically.
Yeah. Most motivation for me.
I don't know if the city can stand that, man. Just you walk around all boat. That might stop crying around here. But also saying congratulations. I don't know if you knew, ladies, Huffman and Ramsey are in the state championships again.
Well, Huffman is.
Huffman.
Ramsey made it to the semi-finals and unfortunately lost by 1 point, y'all. 1 point with a few seconds to go. It sucked. But Huffman girls today, yes, 12 noon today, are in the state championship. I'm confident they'll win. Be a great game. If you're here in Birmingham, come out and support one of your local Birmingham schools and support, again, women, young women.
No, Mary, I thoroughly appreciate that. But we do want to open up the conversation, since we're talking about the girls over at Huffman, it being Women's Month, to open up, how do we celebrate these women?
So I think we have to start with Shonda Temple, everybody. And just some backdrop. Yes, she's a senior project manager, but you all should know that Shonda Temple is also an award-winning journalist, turned award-winning public relations pro, everybody. She's extremely good at what she does. I'm fortunate. She's a part of the Woodfin team, and I get to work with her every day. And her tenacity, her style, it all fits. It all works for producing things. And when she gets a hold of an idea, everybody watch out. So Shonda was, I guess, not necessarily tasked, but came up with a very creative way to honor women in Birmingham 5 years ago. And so I can't believe it's been 5 years. Yeah. But you want to tell the people more, Shonda, just about StrongHer and how it came to be and how it's grown every single year?
Well, Mayor, like you always do, you're walking down the hallway, you're talking to us, and you're saying, hey, what's up, everybody? So one day you came to me and you said, I know there are great women in our city, and I want to find a way to honor them. Can you do that for me? And I said, sure. And then from there we talked about it, and that's where we developed StrongHer. And what it is that we know that there are so many women in our community who work behind the scenes, who don't ask for the shine. But we decided to dig deeper. And so we launched this program in 2019, first by highlighting 31 women. And then we opened it up in 2020, we started asking people to nominate individuals. It grew and grew. And I have to say this is that our StrongHer campaign is probably one of the most popular campaigns that we do have on social media. People see it, they like it, they share it, and we really do appreciate not only the people nominating these individuals, but also everybody sharing the copy or content on their social media pages. So this year, with it being the 5th year, we decided to take it a step further and give it a theme. Our theme is Born to Make a Difference Then and Now. So when you see the women's pictures on social media, not only will you see their current picture, but we decided to do a throwback. You see the pictures of them when they were little girls. And sometimes when I'm interviewing these young ladies or mature ladies, we're asking them, what vision did you have for yourself when you were little? We've had neighborhood leaders, teachers, doctors, a cancer survivor. All of these women have amazing stories, and we're just so happy to share them. So we want to encourage you to check out Birmingham's social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, as well as Instagram every day now through the end of March to see the profiles. You can also see the profiles on birminghamal.gov/StrongHer.
So everybody, Shonda's setup is important because I reflect back my own childhood. I'm sandwiched between two sisters, if you didn't know. A very strong mother, and I grew up in a house with my great-grandmother, so literally surrounded by strong women. So the celebration this month only makes sense to me, but there are a lot of strong women that are leading at City Hall, too, everybody. I want you to know if you don't know. Birmingham City Council is majority-led women. That includes the president of the City Council, Wardine Alexander, and the pro tem of the City Council, Crystal Smitherman. But you also have LaTanya Tate and Carol Clark, as well as Valerie Abbott. Many of the department heads at City of Birmingham, from PEP to HR to legal, are led by strong women. Deputy chiefs of departments from police on are led by women. And so again, I'm glad we're doing this. But I do want to set up, before I get into any questions, we have two honorees. You heard their name earlier, Jacqueline McKinney and Allison Sanders. Before I ask Jacqueline a question, actually, before I ask Ms. Jacqueline a question, I do want to give everybody some backdrop. Ms. Jacqueline McKinney is a retired dressmaker, housekeeper, and caterer, and has taken it upon herself, everybody, to pick up trash in her neighborhood after failing to get a larger dumpster for her Woodlawn apartment complex. But everybody should know, once she's done in her neighborhood, and I have to tell them on the radio and out loud, the 69-year-old hits First Avenue North to continue to pick up litter. She does all of this despite some health issues, and she also volunteers to cook to help loved ones who, unfortunately, when they've lost a loved one. So, Miss Jacqueline or Miss Kenny, if you're on whichever one you want to be affectionately called, we set it up for you. Tell us a little bit more about you and your StrongHer efforts in your community and neighborhood.
Well, my name is Jacqueline McKinney, and I've been in the Woodlawn area about 21 years, and I'm from Irondale, proudly from Irondale. And as a younger person, a child living in Irondale, it was a way of life to always take care of everybody. Everybody in the community, in my community, we took care of everybody. We even, cleaned for everybody. It wasn't black, white, whoever.
Right. Right.
And that's in my soul. That's all I know how to do. So when I came into the Woodlawn area to see. First of all, I want to thank the city of Birmingham. I want to thank you, the mayor, for bringing the Woodlawn area up to proud, because that area has been down for years, and the owners of the Woodlawn Foundation are priceless, and I just thank you for that. And I want to do my part to keep that what's going in that area, because we need that. I go out and I live in a community in Park at Wood Station, beautiful area, and it's a lot of, I think it's 68 apartments, and the dumpsters are not big enough for that whole complex. So this is private owned. The city has on it nothing to do with the trash or anything like that. So they have a truck that come on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and what's left out there, it stays out there on the street, and that's not acceptable in my eyesight. When you love something, you take care of it, and that's one of the reasons why I'm going to continue to do what I do. And I praise Rev Birmingham for coming in and doing in Church of the Highlands and the other churches in the area, but I just feel like we need to continue, or I need to continue to make a standard and keep our area clean.
Shonda, this whole notion of StrongHer, how does one, what's the process? So our listeners are curious to know. I'm curious to know, how was Miss Jacqueline chosen?
So what we did was in November, we asked people to nominate individuals for StrongHer, and they had until January 20th to nominate. We received so many nominations. It was, for the selection committee, they said it was very difficult to make the selections, but this was the highest number of nominations we received for this year's StrongHer. So what we did was everybody nominated individuals, then the selection committee looked at individuals, and then they made their decision. We were looking for people, again, who were just making a major, major impact to move the needle here in Birmingham. It was people like Miss McKinney who took it upon herself. She saw a problem, and when there was no answer, she took it upon herself to make a change. We have Allison Sanders here, who's a Birmingham native. She has loved theater so long that she is making a change, because I feel like I haven't met a black opera singer. That's what Allison is. And when I see Allison perform like that, I think she gives hope for other little girls when people tell them nobody's done that before. Why should you do it? And Allison stepped out on faith and did something like that. So these two women represent that you aren't confined by a box. It's okay to step out and do something and make a change.
That's what's up, Shonda. That's what's up. Ms. Jacqueline, based on what I just heard you say and what I heard Shonda say, related to neighborhood revitalization, we talk about neighborhood revitalization all the time, but for your neighborhood, you are a one-woman army. What has been, before we go to break, can you tell us a quick answer? What's been the reaction from your neighbors related to them watching you and seeing you out there in the streets every day?
Well, I think it's positive because when they first started, it was a lot of trash. And I think people are when they see me out there, they're and I must say on 50th Street, over 10 years, Miss Donna Hall, and on the street that my home is at, she's been doing this for years, so hats off to Donna. And we're not going to stop, We need to do every street and pray that other people pick up on it. I feel like they will. They will.
Y'all heard Miss Jacqueline. They're not gonna stop. So that's what's up. Ice is passing it back to you.
Y'all, we got it right here inside of the Mag City Spotlight, celebrating our StrongHer honorees today. We got Shanda Temple, Senior Project Manager, City of Birmingham Mayor's Office, Jacqueline McKinney, StrongHer honoree, and Allison Sanders, StrongHer honoree as well. We'll be back in a few moments. Keep it locked in the Mag City Spotlight on V94.9 WATV, where V stands for variety.
Welcome to the Magic City Spotlight, B-Ham highlights. Everything is looking up like a skylight. It's all love, here's your invite. You ought to know we keep it cool, no frostbite.
Welcome back to the Mag City Spotlight, starring Mayor Randall Woodfin and friends. And of course, we are celebrating Women's Month here inside the Mag City Spotlight. We have Shanda Temple, Senior Project Manager, City of Birmingham Mayor's Office, and Jacqueline McKinney, who's a StrongHer honoree, as well as Allison Sanders, a StrongHer honoree. Mayor Randall Woodfin, back to you.
Yeah, everybody, we're here at B94.9, the Magic City Spotlight. Such a cool Saturday, especially when we get a chance to continue to love on our women who are making a difference in the community. Shout out to Shonda Temple for leading the StrongHer campaign and effort over the last 5 years. As Isis said, everybody, 2 honorees in the studio. You just heard from Jacqueline McKinney. Now we want to talk about Miss Allison Sanders. But again, before we get into any questions, I think you all deserve some backdrop on her pretty cool, successful career. Miss Allison Sanders was born and raised right here in Birmingham, singing in the church. And to break y'all, I actually did she know who Anna Mae Buller was. Anyway, that's another topic. She made her stage debut at the Alabama Theater at the age of 6 in The Sound of Music. She eventually moved to Memphis, where she found her full voice, and she credits her voice teacher for encouraging her to try singing something from an opera. Singing opera was a match for her, and she's performed with various groups. So I don't think y'all understand. She's literally an opera singer. She was a soloist during the closing ceremony of the World Games in Birmingham last year, and taking the stage after Ruben Studdard performed. And she most recently, she performed in 3 sold-out shows of Opera Birmingham's production of Dab, Driving While Black in Birmingham. So Allison, okay, sing us a song. I'm just playing.
I'm almost ready now.
Always ready. On the spot. Kidding, everybody. You are an opera singer, which is already unique, very unique in my opinion. But you have an interesting story starting from age 6 all the way to the stage of the World Games as the closing ceremonies as a soloist. Please tell us what it's been like to be a black woman from Birmingham performing opera all over the nation.
It hasn't been without its triumphs and trials. I don't feel like I've just had a, every year gets better kind of thing. Trajectory for my career. I think that's what being StrongHer is about, is lots of failures and all those things and I just never stop coming back. I never stop. My faith is huge. I never wanted to be anything other than a singer. So I knew very early on what my purpose was. I just needed a little bit of guidance through that. But being Black and choosing to sing opera, everybody's like, what? What are you doing? You know, even me, I was like, I want to be Whitney. Like, I want to, sing Beyonce or, sing at church. And to think that I would have to put myself in a box to do that, I thought that for a long time, especially in college. But moving back here to Birmingham, like, it's nothing to find me at Plum singing a little Beyonce sometimes. Find me at Opera Birmingham, doing a one-woman opera and still singing at church. So being in this city has just embraced every part of me as an artist and as a woman. And I love that for the city and for myself, yeah.
And for little Black girls out here who have a voice or don't know they have a voice and haven't found their voice yet, but are there's a talent hidden somewhere, what would you tell them related to your journey and how to get where you are?
I would say don't be afraid to take up space. That was huge for me, to be able to be like, I'm enough. This is the gift that I have. And to know that this gift is not for you, but it's to give to the world. So when I look at it that way, it's never selfishly that I'm like, oh, I can sing, because a lot of people are like, if I could sing, I'd be singing all the time, And I just look at it as, wow, this is the vessel and what God gifted me to use to the world. And so doing Driving While Black, which was an important opera about this little Black boy and his life through growing up learning how to drive, and his mother, it was a one-woman opera, and I played the mom, and I'm a single mother to a little Black boy. It really opened my eyes to be able to put on that piece in a place where we don't normally show up in the opera houses, Right. So to tell that story to people who would not have heard that story before, really, I was just like, okay, this is the kind of artist I want to be. Like, it's really cool. You get the publicity and people are like, a voice for change. And that hit me hard. Because, I was just like, oh, I'm singing a song. I'm doing this 45-minute piece.
Right.
But then to sit in it and to see everybody come out night after night, sold out shows, and to have talkbacks with the community about what's happening in the city of Birmingham, in Memphis at the time, like, and to hear people's stories or their complete ignorance,
Right.
It was important. And I want to be that kind of singer.
So you were born in Birmingham, but you left a couple times.
I did.
Tell the people what inspired you or motivated you, or just your reason why you came back home.
So family, wherever my mom is where home is. So my mom moved to Memphis when I was 4th grade, and then she came on back. So I followed her after college. Right. I went on tour for a little while to Germany and Japan. And then after that, I was like, where am I going to go? Well, where's mom, So mom came back to Birmingham, so I came back. And I was, honestly, when I moved back, I was like, what am I doing in Birmingham? What am I going to find here? Is there an opera company here? Like, what does that look like? And Birmingham is amazing. It's an amazing city full of amazing talent and resources. And I've sung a lot of places, but something about singing at home with my people is very different. It's so different. And I love every second of it. I love every second of it.
So you got to tell the people as a Birminghamian, because I would love to know how you were received. How did people in Germany and Japan respond to you?
They love us. They love us. I feel like a rock star every time. We had sold out shows in Japan. It was during like the Christmas season.
Right.
So we were kind of doing Christmas shows. It was like 20 of us. But they received us well. Packed out shows. They would stand up and they would be like, oh, I feel, and they couldn't really speak English. They were like, I feel burning, like a warm sensation. We're like, babe, that's love. That's the love of music, because it's a universal language. It really is, and it doesn't matter where you are. We all understand it. Where if you don't understand the words, you understand the feeling, and it was fun. It was awesome.
And if there's a little girl right now that's in the car with her mom on the way to a recital or something right now, and at home helping her mom, whatever she's doing at home, what snippet of something would you sing to her that she could feel that love? And you can just sing it if you want. You don't even have to tell us. You can just sing it in the mic.
Okay. I said I was ready, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I would tell her, you are so beautiful to me. You are so beautiful to me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Listen, so Isis said, encore, everybody. All of us are going to leave the studio. We're going to leave Allison here with y'all. And the remaining of this Magic City Spotlight will just be Allison singing opera. Bye, y'all. See you. I'm gone. That's that is amazing. That is a beautiful, strong voice. So I'm curious, right? Like, keep going. Like when I mean keep going, at such an early age of knowing that voice, like, who knew first, you or your mom?
I think I always knew. I was the person that was stopping people, like, listen to me sing. Listen to me sing. And my mom, she just, if I wanted to be a tap dancer one day, she was going to make sure I had tap shoes. Like, it didn't matter what I wanted to do that week. She was always right there. So singing, I never wanted to do anything else. I was like, I'm going to always sing. So she would always put me out there. Yeah. And I decided to sing in church on a whim on an Easter Sunday, you know?
See, I told you.
Yeah.
Told you. Well, listen, everybody, if you're listening to what Allison said, she said a lot, and she's shown us her strong voice, but something stands out to me because I talk about it all the time, and that's purpose, right? That I believe as human beings, as people, those who life is rewarding and just can move about are those who live in their purpose. You're living in your purpose at such a very, very early age. Like right now. I'm not talking then. I'm talking now in 2023. Tell the people who are listening more about this whole notion of living in purpose and how free that is.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I love that you said that word free, because if I'm honest, I haven't always felt that way, you know? And so this newness that has happened in this season of my life, I'm so glad that you brought it up, about the way that I view my gift and the way that I view myself. Because for a long time, I was Allison the singer, right? And so everywhere you go, it's Allison the singer. Her purpose is attached because I've always been doing it for the longest time. But I had to then fall in love with Allison, right? Separate from the gift. And then realize, oh, this gift is not for you. It's not for your own selfish, you know, you don't need the applause. You don't need any of that. It's strictly to give it back. So it's so freeing because I don't care if you don't clap. You know? I don't care if somebody writes a good review or a bad one. Allison's okay with Allison, right? And the gift that God gave me is enough. And I am more than enough. And I want all these little girls, grown women, to know that we're more than enough. So many times we put ourselves on the back burner every day to do for others, and we think less of ourselves, but you are enough. Whatever your gifting is, give it, because the world needs it.
Man, look, told y'all we're leaving the studio.
Right now. like right now.
Told y'all.
Service is over.
Shonda, you're listening to these two powerful women. Clearly, you've been in the trenches for 5 years. If my math is correct, everybody, we have acknowledged 155 women.
Yeah, close to 166, and that's only because sometimes when we would profile someone, we may have done a mother-daughter. We even one year did a lunchroom from one of the Birmingham City schools because they worked through COVID.
That's pretty cool. Can you tell the people that are listening and watching as well, of these 160 women, does anyone stand out? Is there anyone that was a shock or a surprise? And if it's more than one, just tell the people, talk about it.
There are several, but I have to say there's one woman who stood out. She donated a kidney to a stranger.
Wow.
Somebody nominated her, and in their nomination, they said kidney donor. That stood out to the selection committee. I called her and I said, tell me about you being a kidney donor. And she said, well, I was seeing something, I think it was a church member. And she said that this man, he had been going, he was just waiting for a kidney and nothing came through. She decided to donate her kidney. She's also a fitness instructor. She teaches fitness classes in the North Avondale area. She stood out. This year we featured several cancer survivors. One lady, we are featuring her tomorrow, Talisha Cash. She runs a nonprofit, Can Survive, and she's been diagnosed with cancer 3 times. This last time, doctors gave her 8 months to live. She refused to accept that diagnosis, saying, I have children, I have a husband. I do not accept that. And she's still alive and kicking and doing great things in the community to help women. What she's doing is she set up a Facebook page on social media, so it allows women to go into the Facebook page and talk about things that they're going through with cancer. She said, sometimes you just can't talk about these things with your husband. You need to talk about your tribe so that they understand. There's so many other women, but those 2 women stand out. And we've also done students. Amazing students in Birmingham. So, again, check out that StrongHer page to read these women and be inspired. I know a couple of times when I've interviewed the women, I felt like crying because these women are so strong. And if you're having a down day, I just want to challenge you to go to that website, birminghamal.gov/StrongHer, and read it.
And so y'all heard it, birminghamal.gov/StrongHer. Again, that's birminghamal.gov/StrongHer to read about these strong women in your community that are doing amazing things and have incredible personal narratives and stories that will inspire you, and some will make you cry, happy and sad tears. Shonda, with that, in this acknowledgement of 5 years of the StrongHer campaign, is there anything how do you personally feel, or anything you're doing to commemorate this continued growth and success of the StrongHer campaign?
So, Mayor, I always felt that I was born to be a storyteller. My background is journalism, so I'm just very thankful to you in the city of Birmingham for allowing me to tell these women's stories. So, with the 5th year, we are putting out a commemorative publication this spring, and we are going to profile the women we've highlighted over the last 5 years. We'll have more information on our website about that, but right now we're working on finalizing that publication.
That's great. Ms. Jacqueline, I want to bring it back to you. And look, see, Shonda make people cry, y'all. Just playing. But true, too. Take your time, Ms. Jackie. But Ms. Allison talked about the word purpose, and you mentioned a key word, pride. What do you think is happening or missing related to people not having pride where they reside? You, by definition, are cleaning up after very grown people who are your neighbors. What do you say to your neighbors who are listening about having more pride where they live in their individual block, street, neighborhood?
Well, I can't just look at others. I'm looking at me, what I can do, and the other people.
Take your time. Take your time. Take your time.
Other people will follow, and this is something I've been doing all my life, Back in the 60s, my mom and dad, we were the ones that was in the president of South Trust Bank home every day, I did catering in Mountain Brook for 30 years for kosher foods and stuff. So I have always been a giver, a server. So I just have to look at what I do and have done, and maybe somebody would come after, And I'm sorry I'm breaking down.
No. You're good. You're good.
Can I talk about some things that's going on with health-wise with me?
Absolutely. Please do.
Okay. My prayer is people go to the doctor and do a mammogram. Years back, I went to do a mammogram. And in that mammogram, they told me that my lymph nodes was swollen. Something is wrong with you. I had to do a biopsy. And today, I have a rare blood disease, and it was found from that mammogram. And it's death sentence. There's no cure for it. And to this is one of my purpose in life is to do everything you can here, take care of yourself, because every morning I get up, God give me another chance to help somebody else, and that's why I do what I do. And you said sisters can survive. That's my daughter, Talisha Cash. Oh, wow. That's my daughter. Yes. So.
Really small. We didn't know
that. And she's strong-willed. And people don't take this for granted. Go and see about yourself, because I had to go to UAM in Arkansas, and it's a rare blood disease that mimics lymphoma, and it's called Castleman's disease. It's very rare. And the doctor told me, he said, listen, I've been a doctor for 20 years, and I've only had 3 cases, and you're number 4, and everybody, the others die. It's no cure for it. You know, I looked at him and said, hey, I'm going to be the one to tell the story. I'm going to be the one to live and tell the story. And that was 12 years ago. Wow.
Everybody, there's a presence of faith in this studio. It has descended upon all of us with Miss Jacqueline telling her story, taking the time to be vulnerable and open and candid with us. And what she has defined as a sentencing with this rare disease, but got the news 12 years ago and has lived her life the last 12 years.
Amen.
Just like Allison, just like Shonda in her purpose. I think we need to adhere to what she has told us. I'm going to say it, and then I'm going to ask her to repeat it and give it back to Shonda if we need a break. And that is to take care of yourself. And literally, in Miss Jacqueline's words, go see a or your doctor. You want to tell them again?
Yes. Go is simple mammogram. Will tell the story. I had a swollen lymph node under my arm. I'm thinking it's just fat because I'm stout, but it was danger. And you won't know that this can happen to you until you see about yourself. And we as Black sisters, as Black people, we need to go to the doctor. I have diabetes, and that's something that will take us out. And it's so simple. I'm doing infusions every month. So, but by the grace of God, I'm still here. And I'm going to continue to do what I do to help others. And that's why I get up every morning to go and help.
Absolutely. Shonda, I'm not even sure if it's time for a break. We out here just with the people talking.
Look, I was getting ready to say, let's keep it going, but we're going to take a quick break, y'all. Ms. Jacqueline, thank you so very much. It's the Magazine Spotlight, starring Mary Randall Woodfin and friends, and of course, we're celebrating StrongHer. Shonda Temple, Jacqueline McKinney, and Allison Sanders. We'll be back in 1 second. It's V94.9 WATV, where V stands for Variety, on the home of the Dee Dee in the Morning Show.
Welcome to the Magic City Spotlight, Big Ham highlights. Everything is looking up like a skylight. It's all love, here's your invite. You ought to know we keep it cool, no frostbite.
V94.9 WATV, where V stands for Variety, on the home of the DD in the Morning Show. You are inside of the Magazine Spotlight, starring Mayor Randall Woodfin and friends, and we are celebrating our StrongHer honorees. We have Shonda Temple in the house with us, Jacqueline McKinney, and also Allison Sanders. Moving by the Spirit, Lord.
We are ISIS, V94.9 Magic City Spotlight. Those who are with us this Saturday morning, we have been hearing from not only Shonda Temple, as part of our team, but two strong women, two honorees from the StrongHer campaign. We've heard a personal testimony. We've heard an amazing voice. And there are a lot more days in March as we highlight these women. Just to note, everybody, last November, Shonda Temple and the team, we announced that we would start taking applications for the 2023 honorees. The deadline to apply was 2 months ago, January 20th. So the honorees have already been selected, everybody. So each day of the month of March, we will be highlighting an honoree on the city's social media channels, as well as what Shonda advised earlier, birminghamal.gov/StrongHer. But today you're in the studio with two of those honorees, and I want to give it back to them. They can pass the mic. Anybody can go first, or neither can go, and I can just take it. But again, as we've gone about the show, it's been pretty emotional and impactful today. Again, there are young girls out here. There are young women out here that are looking for direction, looking for guidance, looking for support. What do you tell these young women out here that are listening to this show this morning? Anything you want to tell them?
I would tell them that believe in yourself. I never went to school for dressmaking. I never went to school for catering. It's a gift that I had from God. And use your hands. This is something can't nobody take from you.
Right.
Use your hands and believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, you know that you know that you know without a shadow of a doubt that you are strong, and you have to have God first. Don't worry about what everybody else. Just believe in what God has given you.
Allison, you want to tell the young girls, young ladies in this community anything of encouragement?
Yeah, I think she said everything perfectly. But also find a mentor. Find people out there who inspire you. Ask them how, they got to where they are. We don't go at this thing alone. We have to do it together.
That's powerful. What about you, Shonda? I mean, you see stuff every single day working for the city. Anything you want to encourage to young girls, young women out here?
Two things, Mayor. The lady who donated the kidney, I understand she's listening. Her name is Christine Law. Just wanted to give her a shout out. And the second thing is if people are listening and they want to know, well, how can I be considered for a StrongHer in 2024? You've heard the stories. Check out our website. When you nominate people, when we open up the nominations again, please go deep. Please tell us how these women are making changes and making it better for people here in Birmingham. We have tearjerkers. We have game changers. That's what the committee is looking for.
That's what's up. All right. So listen, we have a opera singer, everybody, in the studio, and a bomb caterer. So I got to take it back to Miss Jacqueline. You got to tell us, what's your favorite meal you like to cook? What's the meal you like to cook, which is a whole separate question from what's the meal everybody in love with?
I like soul healthy. And that's a different take of soul food.
You gotta break that down for the people.
Okay, just like I said, 30 years I did kosher food. And it's basically the same food that we eat, but it's made different and more healthier. The same thing, but you can't mix milk with meat. Certain things is altogether different. It's very healthy for you.
And for your customers or clients who love your food, or for the family, what's their favorite that you cook? There has to be a favorite.
Oh wow. Thanksgiving
top
dinner.
two.
Thanksgiving dinner. Vegetables, dressing, turkey, and it's amazing. But you can take that dressing and make it healthy, and especially cake. Cake.
So the people need to know. I guess you name it, huh? You got a whole spread.
Got a whole spread. It's whole spread. And that's one of my wildest dreams, to have a place in Woodlawn to where we can do Sunday dinner, not once a year, but every week, where the family come together. And I would love to find an older building right in the Woodlawn area, say like the old Ice House. That could be perfect.
Real Birmingham, y'all listening to this young lady?
And we
David
can do
Fleming,
Sunday
you're
dinner.
listening to this young lady? Take care of this young lady.
And to bring the family back together at the table, wow. This is the kind of stuff I did in Mount Brook, and everybody would come together, the different families, Passover, Yom Kippur, and all of the different holidays. And we just took care of each other, enjoyed each other.
Shonda and Isis, I messed around and got hungry in the studio.
Man, real quick.
Call my dad, see if they cooking tomorrow.
Somebody's cooking.
I'm pulling up on somebody's house.
cooking.
Allison, tell the people, I know you are a bomb, natural gifted opera singer, but are there other artists that motivate you, that you get inspiration from? Tell the people where you get your inspiration from.
I love Whitney Houston. She was my idol for forever. Like, I thought I was gonna be her. Okay. I am a part of the Beehive. So shout out to Beyonce.
Hey.
No, but I grew up listening to like Shirley Caesar, and I love Kurt Franklin, his music. I listen to a lot of gospel music. It's very rare, actually, that you'll hear me like just listening to an opera. It does happen, but it's rare. Like, I'm always bumping Kurt Franklin, Ty Tribbett, something like that, to get my day started, because I work as a teacher, so I need to be covered. Shout out to my babies.
Amen.
How, in music, we know, I love rap, but I was fortunate. I grew up playing instruments. An instrument I played the longest was the drums, but exposure to all forms of music. And so I was fortunate back in January to have, I thought, the coolest mashup and listen to it in person, which was Atlanta's Orchestra Symphony. But Young Jeezy, the rap artist, performed with them, which was like the coolest mashup ever. How do we expose our young people to various forms of music? So I think it's fair to say a lot of our young people have not been exposed to opera.
Yeah.
How do we make sure they get a little mix of everything or learn other genres?
I just think it's so, opera, those things are at your fingertips these days. You can go to the movie theaters and watch an opera. So I think just taking your kids and just putting them out there. My son, bless his heart, he was 3 in front of the TV. I was like, you will watch this opera, and he was like, oh, what's happening? I don't understand. But I just think having it there, it show up in the schools. I love singing for my kids at school. The first day I just, was singing their names, and they were just like, what is this that's coming out of your mouth, And so they think that I'm like the coolest teacher ever. And so to know that those 300 plus students that I get to, see every week, to know that they're exposed to opera, because we do a little bit of everything from Earth, Wind, and Fire to,
let's go.
opera. So, yeah.
I hope it's in the stone.
Yes.
Okay. If it's not in the stone, I don't want it.
Oh my God.
I'm just playing. All right, y'all heard it. You've heard it from two of our honorees, everybody. What an amazing two women that you've gotten a chance to see on live, but here in the studio. And I just hope that you're paying attention to our social media channels every day this month, as well as your other option of birminghamal.gov/StrongHer to see what's happening in the community around women empowerment, women making impact, and very stronger women. With that, I do have a few city announcements before I get into them. Shonda, is there anything else you want to say to the people?
One other thing, StrongHer would not happen without the support of Mayor Woodfin as well as the administration. And I have to give a shout out to the Office of Public Information, where we have Edward Bowser. And Aaron Jackson. Roth and Aaron helped take pictures of our StrongHer ladies when they don't have a photo. And Bowser is the powerhouse who posts them to social media. So StrongHer would not exist. People would not be able to see it had it not been for those people.
Shout out to OPI, Bowser, Rolf, A. Jackson. We appreciate all of y'all. City announcements, everybody. The Restore Juvenile Reentry Program formally launched a few days ago, Wednesday, March 1st. This program is set to provide comprehensive services and support for youth ages 16 to 19. Who have been placed in state custody for a minimum of 30 days at a Department of Youth Services placement. Now, this is in partnership with the Division of Youth Service Diversion Facility, partnership with Family Court, Jefferson County Family Resource Center, and Jefferson County Juvenile Center. But I want people to know about this program, that it is a full wraparound piece, not only for the child that's been placed in state custody, but also for their family. So you can visit and learn more at birminghamal.gov/newsroom to get more information about the Restore program. Also, shout out to the Birmingham Jefferson County Transit Authority, BJCTA, along with the Department of Transportation, City of Birmingham, and Amelia Mueller, who all collectively did a grant application. And the U.S. Department of Transportation awarded the City of Birmingham and BJCTA $800,000 to help reconnect communities that have been fractured by interstates, railroads, and major artery railways. Now, that's a lot of words, everybody, so let me break that down for you. If you live in the SHIP, which is High Chaparral Harris Homes, you know you are surrounded by train tracks on all sides. This type of grant helps us go into detailed planning on how to ease being surrounded by train tracks so people can get to work on time, school on time, doctor's appointment on time, and if emergency services are needed, that the fire truck or the ambulance won't be stuck. That's really important when you break it down like that. One last thing I will say is this. I had a chance to sit down with Mayor Richard Arrington to discuss his journey, his legacy, education, and the advancement of our people a few weeks back at Arrington Elementary School, which is named after him. As you know, he was our first black mayor, served 20 years from 1979 to 1999. And I want you all to check out the City of Birmingham's YouTube page to hear his interview. At 89 years of age, everybody, this young man still has it. He still has a voice. He's still a leader, and he has a lot of knowledge to share with us. So check that out on the City of Birmingham's YouTube page. Isis, before I give it back to you, I just want everybody to know, again, check out Huffman High School girls playing at the BJCC Legacy Arena today at 12 noon. Support our local schools, support our young people. Have a good Saturday. Shonda, what else?
And I also mentioned, I forgot Bree Rudolph and Marcus Watts. They work in our graphics department.
Bree.
I just had Bree is
What
the
up,
one
Bree?
who designs all of our templates for StrongHer.
We love you, Bree. Shout out to Marcus. We went to elementary school together, everybody.
Hey. One more time. What are you reading, Mayor?
What am I reading? How to deal with toxic people.
Oh.
I forgot the book, everybody. It's in the truck, but let me tell y'all. Anybody that makes you have a actual negative physical reaction in their presence or when they leave your presence, hey, man, stay away from them people.
On that note, y'all, it's the Magic City Spotlight. With Mayor Randall Woodfin and friends. We thank Shonda Temple, also Jacqueline McKinney, and Allison Sanders for being StrongHer honorees and director. Thank you so much, Shonda. But again, make sure you stay with us every Saturday from 9 until 10 a.m. It's Mary Randall Woodford and Friends with the Mega City Spotlight on V94.9 WATV, where V stands for variety.